Hey everybody, welcome back to Nature's Talk Show at the 2016 NEC conference. I'm here with Jason from San Francisco Bay Brands and Ocean Nutrition. He's going to highlight a few of their products and hopefully we can have a few laughs with this guy. I was hanging out with him at the hospitality suite last night. He's a good guy. Jason, tell us a little bit about yourself. I got into the industry and give us the standard Ocean Nutrition San Francisco Bay Brands spiel.
Okay, well, we'll get started then. I got into the industry pretty much. Fish have been around me my whole life. My grandfather had aquariums, my father had aquariums, and naturally, me and my brother got interested in aquariums as we grew up. My first job was in an aquarium shop at age 14, back when kids were actually encouraged to work and get a job. And from there, it was just an interest I had my entire life. I was involved in a program at the local zoo, which was Roger Williams Park Zoo. Worked with the herpetologist and the veterinarian, which also involved work with a lot of the aquatic exhibits that were at the zoo. And eventually I made my way over to the West Coast and wound up over at San Francisco Bay Brand and Ocean Nutrition.
That's quite the history. It mirrors mine very similarly.
Very quick and brief too.
Oh, well, there you go. We got short spots here. No, it's fine. How long have you been with San Francisco Bay Brand?
About 14 years.
14 years. Did you grow up on the West Coast, or did you?
I grew up on the best coast, the East Coast.
I was going to say, you don't sound like a West Coast guy.
No, it's not healthy out there.
So, do you have any new products that you guys are rolling out relatively new, or is it?
Yeah, we've got several new products, and we've got some reformulations or enhancements to the formulations of some products that we already have on the market. The biggest is our flake food line, which is now being made in the USA at our facility in Newark, California. We removed all artificial colors. We removed all artificial preservatives. We have also increased the inclusion rate of fresh ingredients, which means less dried, powdered stuff going into the flake food. And we're using some unique alternatives to fish meal that are cleaner and more concentrated.
I'll say one thing I've always been impressed with is the packaging with San Francisco Bay and Ocean Nutrition. I like the packaging. I like the fact that it just pops out of the capsules and it's a one-shot type of a food. You don't have to worry about big flat packs that are gonna spoil in your freezer and things like that.
Yeah, the hobby and the market has kind of driven most of the products to be in the cube form these days. Out of convenience, it makes it easy when someone has an aquarium and you can tell them to feed 1 or 2 cubes to the aquarium once or twice a day. There's also a lot of hobbyists and breeders that still use flat packs in certain items, but the flat packs are available only in the range of some limited items, things like brine shrimp, bloodworm, krill, that tend to get use, with larger fish or larger aquariums or multiple aquariums.
My history led me through the public aquarium field, and I remember, pallets and pallets of Ocean Nutrition food arriving on the loading docks. And I got to say, by comparison, it's, pound for pound, one of the better foods I think I've ever fed.
Yeah, well, Ocean Nutrition actually got its start as a food that was developed within the public aquariums for breeding marine stock back in the 70s.
Well, now it's got to be kind of enlightening to see some of the breeding successes that we've seen, like the yellow tangs and the mandarins, things like that are now market ready as, captive bred marines.
Yeah, that's actually probably some of the most exciting stuff that's happened with breeding marine fish has happened within the past year, and obviously the yellow tang is probably the biggest milestone that they've achieved along those, lines. Clownfish, they've been being done since back in the 60s and 70s, and, things like mandarins, though, unfortunately, at least when it comes to like the psychedelic type mandarin, the blue mandarins, there was the point where they were being bred. They could be bred in numbers, but the captive bred animals were more expensive than the wild caught animals. And even though those animals that were captive bred are healthier and easier to keep, people just kept, choosing to pay the lower price for an inferior animal where, I think a more conscious decision could have been made on the part of some people in that case.
Oh, yes. Well, like you said before, the market drives, sales and drives what's available. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, yeah, and that's why we sometimes discontinue a product.
There you go. So, off the record, just you and me talking. You brought up the clownfish. Well, what's your personal opinion on the designer clownfish?
A lot of them I like. The one I'm kind of on the fence about is the long fin clownfish.
Yeah, I got to go with you on that one. And I remember when breeding clownfish was an art, and the point of breeding clownfish was you wanted it to be that perfect Nemo. That was, to have misbarring was bad. Now they've taken that misbarring and they've made it sexy, which is weird for me.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are purist when it comes to that, but also if they don't go off into the designer clownfish, then the whole clownfish breeding is maybe going to get stagnant and stale and not continue to evolve. And in a large part, that is what drives the captive breeding of the marine fish. And, a lot of facilities that breed marine fish, the clownfish is the number one seller. And if they don't keep coming up with, bigger and better ones, then there goes their bread and butter animal, which funds their research with, the less popular fish.
Yep. So how's the NEC show treating you? You getting a lot of activity, a lot of interest?
It's been pretty busy. It's pretty good. A lot of interest. A lot of people stop by the booth. It's a lot of good talks going on and a lot of good conversations about things and, what's going on in the industry.
I got to say, you've definitely made the vendor room more lively. I've heard more laughing and carrying on from your booth than any other one.
Well, by the time people get down to the end of the hall there, I think they need a good laugh after that long walk.
Well, Jason, thank you for joining us here on Nature's Talk Show at the NEC convention. And everybody, Ocean Nutrition, San Francisco Bay brand, they're here to stay. They've been in the industry forever. They're not going anywhere, and they're getting bigger and better. Right, Jason?
Yeah, we keep growing.
All right. Thanks for joining us today.
All right, thank you.
You got it.